Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. And here are some of today's trends in the news. And remember, the trend is your friend. That's right. Nowhere, no place, anywhere, anyhow do you get what we give you in the Trends Journal. In-depth socioeconomic and geopolitical trends analysis and trend forecasts that you won't find anywhere else in the world. And so today's trends, well, let's start with the markets. Happy days are here again. The markets went up. And you know what that was?
Bullshit.
You got it. Yeah, the markets went up. It's over. They keep raising interest rates, markets go down. This isn't rocket science, very simple. So what do you have? You had the numbers came out, mortgage demand from home buyers. It only dropped to a 28-year low. And that was last week when you had the mortgage rate at 6.62%. Excuse me, 6.71. But you know what it is now? Mortgage rates jumped back over 7% as inflation fears drive yields higher. Now we're going into the spring season coming up, and this is when the housing market starts to go up. Is it going to go up this time? Well, guess what? It's not. Is it going to be a housing crash? We don't see that happening. But there will be a crash, the likes of which will be a crash heard around the world, and we'll get to that very soon. Over there in China, it's coming back. Yep. China's economy seen emerging from zero COVID shadow. Economic activity in China expanded sharply for the second straight month. And manufacturing rose at its fastest pace in more than a decade in February. So is this going to keep up? Well, yes and no. The International Monetary Fund, Mafia Federation Monetary Fund, in January upgraded the growth forecast from up to 5.2% in 2023. But there's a lot of ifs, but there's no question about it that it's going to do better than a lot of the other economies. And what does it mean? One of the things it means is that you're beginning to see the end of dollar strength, because the stronger that China gets and the more the BRICS unite against the United States, and they've had enough. They've had enough of the United States hegemony, both in terms of war and in terms of owning too much with too little. So the stronger China gets, the more the yuan is going to go up and the more the dollar is going to fall. The dollar is right now at a crisis point. It's only staying high because of high interest rates, but they're going to come down at some point, and so too will the dollar. And what else do we have here? Oh, EU reports wave of bankruptcies. Defaults jump by only 26.8%. Great. Keep putting those sanctions on Russia. Keep making energy prices go up. The COVID war did a great job, destroyed the lives and livelihoods of billions around the planet. But don't worry, we beat the COVID. How's that for?
Bullshit.
Yep. COVID, huh? They call it a pandemic. What fucking horse shit that they're shoving down, and people repeat it. Oh, the pandemic did that. I ask you, how many people do you know died of COVID? How many do you know? Personally. And those who did die, were they elderly with pre-existing comorbidities? Were the average American, of which 42% are obese? So it could have been from respiratory ailments or type 2 diabetes or obesity. How many people do you know How many people do you know personally? Could you count them on one finger? So it was a fucking pandemic. You'd know 30 people that were dead. Or at least 10. But that's the shit that they're selling. But you know why? Because the shitheads are in control. Don't believe me? Who's your favorite shithead? You like Gavin Shithead Newsom? You like Witless Whitmer? How about the little DeWine over you in Ohio as the people in East Palestine get poisoned to death? A little cocksucker. A little fucking prick. A little one after another. Little Chucky Schumer. Little Chucky Schumer. I like Lindsey Graham. Did you come out of the closet yet, Lindsey? No, I like Mitch McConnell. He got more chins than Chinatown. What a fucking freak show. These people have fucked up life beyond the belief. Can't understand why those bankruptcies are happening. Holy shit. Oh, this will shock everybody. Inflation in Germany accelerates. Hey, remember Lagarde? Remember that misfatscher brute? Yeah, the clown that played the head of the IMF and now's the head of the European Central Bank? Yeah, that one. Remember her? Oh, there's no inflation. You're full of shit, Salenti. There's no inflation. I believe the crap of Jerome Powell and Janet screaming, yelling. It's only temporary and transitory. What the fuck are you people complaining about? We got all the money we need. Inflation doesn't make a fucking bit of difference to us. There's no inflation. So guess what? The jump in consumer prices, blah, 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 blah. According to the report, soaring energy and food prices in particular has substantial impact of blah, blah, blah. In February, food prices showed above average growth. You ready? 21.8%. Food prices went up 22%. Energy prices only went up 19.1%. 20%. Put those sanctions on Russia. Blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. Oh, I just did an interview with Cy Hirsch. Yep. The guy that came out, the Pulitzer Prize winner, about the United States bombing. Yep, we're going to be putting that up, the Nord Stream pipeline. So, Commerce Bank economic researcher Ralph Slovin told Reuters, quote, although the inflation rate may fall in the coming months because energy prices are unlikely to rise as strongly as they did in spring 22, this does not mean inflation is over. Yeah, no shit. But you know what it is? Again, none of the media will report what we're reporting, the facts. It's dragflation. GDP's declining, economic growth declining, dragging down, and inflation going up. Dragflation. It's the way of the world. PIMCO saddled with $1.7 billion debt. Big story? Yeah, PIMCO. PIMCO. They spelt it wrong. In 2021, an asset manager, PIMCO, banked on an office market comeback and bought up a lot of shit. And in September of this year, PIMCO Investment Management said it's acquiring Columbia Property Trust, Inc., which owns 19 office buildings in New York, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. The deal valued Columbia at $3.9 billion. How fucking stupid can you be? The three worst places where the office occupancy rate is the lowest. And again, we warned about this only 3 years ago when the COVID war began. Columbia is now defaulted on more than $1.7 billion of debt backed by 7 of its buildings. Oh, I just mentioned that mortgage rates are going up. Oh, mortgage rates are going up. Interest rates are going up. Interest rates are going up. So now what does that mean? Well, as interest rates go up, you got to pay more on that debt because a lot of this is, the whole deal. Got to pay more. Yeah. Digital payments, not cash, is king across India. Again, we did this when they did away with the rupee and started going digital. And that's it. They go on to say that Modi championed the digital public infrastructure with foundation, blah, blah, blah. The government has made daily, blah, 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 to millions more Indians and extended the reach of government programs and tax collection. That's all it's about, tax collection. Because these fucking Prince, here, Prince, here, boy. No, the Prince, Prince Charles, the king now. These pricks. And I can't say the other word. All they're interested in is tax money. And that's your Trends Journal. We wrote about this 3 years ago, going from dirty cash to digital trash, because these politicians that just keep sucking off the public tit, they never work a day in their lives. There you go. Right there, there's your proof. They want tax money. And then things go digital. You don't leave that tip anymore. Nope. Not to do. They get all the dough. All right. On to the Ukraine war. Stopping weapons supplies to Ukraine won't bring peace. Bullshitted German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Yeah, Heil Scholz. You ready? One also does not achieve peace when it shouts, "Never again war," here in Berlin, and at the same time demands that all weapons deliveries must be stopped. The comments appeared to be a reference to the anti-war protests organized by the Left Party this past weekend. Listen to this fucking shit coming out of this scumbag's mouth. Never again war? That doesn't achieve peace? Who the fuck are you? Oh, but you know what achieves peace? And at the same time demands that weapons deliveries must be stopped? Oh, you mean keep the war going? Keep weapons deliveries going? Ukraine is not going to win this war. They're going to lose it. We said this from when it started. If Napoleon couldn't knock out the Russians, if Hitler couldn't do it and kill some 25 million of them, what makes you think the Ukrainians are going to do it? But this is the warmongering shit that's demonic and satanic. And fuckface Schultz, put on your military drag and go lead the fucking charge. That's right. Go on to the front lines over there and go fight. Anybody that wants to support Ukraine, send your money, go over there and fight, or shut your fucking mouth. And then here's the bullshit. You ready? They're going after China now. China has repeatedly denied accusations. Yeah, in the same speech, Schultz urged China not to provide arms to Russia. Oh, wait a minute. Chinese can't supply arms to Russia, but it's okay for everybody to supply arms to Ukraine. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I got it wrong. Okay. Yep. This is the kind of propaganda that they keep putting out day after day. This is from the toilet paper, a record, the New York Times. Or is it? I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, New York Times. Putin's propaganda fuels war support. How about Bush's propaganda fuels war support? How about Clinton's propaganda fuels war support? Hey, fuckface, even Gershkovich, how come Obama's propaganda fuels war support? We're going to get that guy Gaddafi, I got to get out of here. How about their propaganda? No, they didn't do that for American propaganda. More. Russian forces repeating strategic errors lose epic tank battle. How about American forces repeating strategic errors, haven't fucking won a war since World War II that cost trillions and trillions of dollars and killed millions and millions of people? Who wrote this? Andrew Kramer. Yeah. And another article, support ebbing for Kyiv's fight as money flows. That's right. The numbers are coming out. According to Pew, 40% of Republicans think too much has been given compared to 15% of Democrats. Look how, remember the Democrats used to be the progressives and the liberals that hated war? And now these little fucking arrogant pricks, and I can't say the other word, they support war. Oh yeah, AOC, little Bernie Sanders, bullshit fucking Bernie, a little prick that's been sucking off the public tit his whole life, loves fucking war, but claims he's against it. Sent $40 billion of our dough to Ukraine. Oh, these are the same Democrats. If you don't get the jab, you should have no job. These are the same Democrats. How dare you not swallow the shit that I swallow? The arrogant little fucking people. Yep. This thing's going to, again, but don't worry. When all else fails, they take you to war. They'll make something up as this thing else goes down. Watch out. Prepare for the worst. If the worst doesn't happen and you're prepared, you lose nothing. If the worst happens and you're not prepared, you lose everything. And in the Trends Journal, trendsjournal.com, we're giving you everything we can to help you prepare, prevail, and prosper in these very, very dangerous times ahead. So hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Trends Journal. Go to trendsjournal.com. It's like $2.70 something a week. You know, it's like less than a fucking anything in a shitty Starbucks coffee. You know, it's nothing. And we're giving you everything. Half of humanity will be overweight by 2035. Oh, yeah? How's that get in there? If I get elected, you know what I do? I want a fat tax. The more you weigh, the more you pay. They got it over here. Raising obesity rates will lead to more than just decreased lifespans and an increased healthcare burden. The Federation claims, warning that global cost of surging obesity rates is expected to grow by $4.3 trillion by 2035. Keep swallowing shit. Don't forget to eat shit. Yep. And Israel. Call to wipe out town. Ultra-nationalist finance minister Bezalel Smotrich has said a Palestinian town where scores of Jewish settlers torched homes should be wiped out. This is their language, by the way, Financial Times calling it ultra-nationalist. They say that after the shooting in the village, the government, widely seen as, quote, the most right-wing in Israel history. They're also pushing this controversial bill that, here you go, would it advance a controversial bill long championed by extreme right-wing national security minister Ben-Gvir that would introduce the death penalty. Again, that's the language from the mainstream talking about the current Israeli government. And we're writing about this in your Trends Journal week after week. Middle East meltdown. We warned about this for weeks, for months, and now it's happening. This is from March 2nd. U.S. has Iran war plan. The Pentagon developed a consensual plan for war with Iran during the presidency of Donald Trump. The Interceptors reported, citing budgetary documents and on and on and on, and it's ramping up. If we don't have peace, we're going to die in war. And you got little scumbags like Schultz, Rachel Maddow, demeaning those of us who want peace on earth, goodwill to all. I'm doing everything I can. I put my money where my heart and my mouth and my soul are. I fight for peace. A big peace rally this past July. Judge Andrew Napolitano, Scott Ritter, Gary Null, Phil Giraldi, hot damn band, spoke at the rally in D.C., Rage Against War. So you do what you can to support peace. Go to occupypeace.com, occupypeace.com. And if you want to know what in the world is going on, what to do, what's next, the Trends Journal, we're giving you everything we can. I've been at this for 43 years. Never in my life have I been more concerned about where we're heading. Again, Ukraine's going to lose this war, but they're never going to call it defeat. Something else is going to happen to ramp up war, and probably China, because that's who they're pushing next. So they'll get the people's mind off that, and they'll put them on that. We have demonic, evil people. Again, as you cover this week's Trends Journal, clearly illustrates, what side are you on? Satanic war or godly peace? It's up to you. You answer it. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to check out the video yesterday we did of the judge, Celente and the judge. And we're going to be putting up one of me and Seymour Hersh. I was very honored to do that interview. This guy's a real man. He's a real guy. You'll see. He's not a bullshitter like these little clowns, these little nothing girly boys that they call reporters and anchors. They're prostitutes, media whores. They get paid to put out by their corporate pimps and their government whoremasters. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you.
At the Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Over the last 30 years, Joe Celente has been more accurate about predicting what would be happening than anyone else I'm aware of.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time. So please take a look at the Trends Journal.
You correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rate to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Trends Journal, which I would encourage people to go and check out. It's actually a 200-page document, pure data-driven analysis.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.